Hi everyone, welcome back to the third episode of the Diggin podcast. I'm joined by my lovely co-host again, Liam. You passed your trial period, didn't you?
Brilliant, first one ever.
We're joined by Harry Noren, also known as H. Thanks for giving up your time today.
Oh,
I want to say I forced you on, but we know you like being in front of the camera.
oh, of course, yeah.
Twice in a week, eh?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. You know how it works. Me and Liam are going to ask you some questions and then we'll finish off with some fun quick fire ones. So let's take it away.
Yeah, so looking at your career, I've got former Cables, Colne, Barnoldswick, City of Liverpool, Clitheroe and Linnets footballer. About as long as a normal bet slipper when I'm on a weekend. But one thing I did have a look with is, I don't know if this is, well, to be fair, I don't know if he was playing with him at the same time, but I think you might be the only person in the team to have ever played with somebody who's won the Champions League. And you're not going to know what I'm on about. Clitheroe.
Mano.
Yes.
Yeah, Dave Mano.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think you're the only one, which I thought was a nice little snippet for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously played down there with Riggers, but taking it all the way back to the start, where and when did it start for you and how did you get going?
So I think when, as soon as I was sort of walking, I was sort of kicking a ball, but at that sort of time I was more bothered. Mum always said I was more bothered about doing like cartwheels on the side than actually like kicking a football, but
you still do that now.
Yeah. But yeah, so it started with a team called Hesketh Colts in Southport. So they're still going, and then we sort of broke off, and my mum and our managers sort of made a new team called Churchtown Athletic. So like they were on the committee and like the sort of the founding members, and now it's huge, absolutely massive in Southport. So we were the sort of first team, and I was sort of through with Churchtown until I was about when was I, 11 or 12, when I started getting the interest from like academies, and then that's obviously when I signed for Liverpool, played there in the development squad. And then sort of when that didn't work out, I was back with Churchtown until I was sort of 16, and then that's when I went to college and stuff. But yeah,
was there any other sports competing for you? Attention at the time,
well, I was sprinting. I competed sprinting, so that was it. That was in high school. So I've always been fast through primary school, and then when I went into high school, and you do your away days where we used to go to Wavertree with Stanley and compete there. I won the 100 and 200 every year, so I went down to Sefton Harriers. So I competed in 100 and 200 meters there. So I was training with Commonwealth athletes and stuff. Tuesday and Thursday, and obviously that day was just another level. But that sort of, I thought I was fast. And then you get to them who are, a foot taller than you, and then you're having to take 2 or 3 strides for every one of their strides. But yeah, that's sort of was that. I had a little dabble with tennis. My dad liked me playing tennis. But other than that, stuck it out for a couple of years. But then something had to give, and I was at Liverpool 3 times a week.
Yeah. It's tough, isn't it, to sustain anything like that. If you're picking tennis, that's a bit of a summer sport, but it can be one of those now. Football is so all encompassing these days, isn't it? But I think if you've got an opportunity, it's like as a kid to go and do that, probably go hand in hand. It's probably helped. I don't know if it's probably helped shape your game now. It's just how you can sort of explode out of there from all the work that you've done as a sprinter. Yeah. So it's good to hear, because I think, to be honest with you, we can sit here and talk about football all day, but it's boring, doesn't it?
No, 100% agree. Yeah.
So where did you go from? Sort of, you said you'd gone into college. At what point did you sort of start moving towards non-league football?
So when I was quite unlucky, actually. So when I was 16, I went on trial at Blackpool. Just before they were starting offering scholarships out. So effectively, I was successful with the trial. And
that makes 2 of us.
Yeah. And then it was at the time where they started to go through a lot of financial troubles, and I can't remember how much the owner took out. I think it was a couple £1 million out, and the cuts had to come from somewhere. So effectively, how it worked they came in, had done well, and the coaches not like me, and then they basically said, for us to sign anyone that's went offer scholarships for anyone that's not currently in the under 16s, you've got to be in the top 2 players, and you're currently sort of in the top 4 or 5. So that sort of like knocked me for six, like, because I thought, like, after like Liverpool, and then I had like trials at Bolton, and I had interest from like all over, but then that sort of calmed down. I went on trial there, and then I was thought the coaches like me, and then that knocked me as a 16-year-old, and then I sort of like fell out a bit of love, a bit of confidence, and then went back to college and trial for the college team, was successful there under Adam Lakeland, who's currently at Kings Lynn Town. But he's been successful at Farsley Celtic and Curzon, so he was a really, really good manager. And that's when he started, like, sort of took me under his wing, and over that 2 years really developed me as a player from there. And then this is where I met Riggs, and when trialled at the development squad at Morecambe over the summer. So we left in May, and then these trials come up, so I was like, yeah, go on, I'll go for it, like. And then that's when I then started to go towards non-league, and then that summer then was when I went into Clitheroe. So just before my 18th birthday, I was playing there in pre-season. So it was pretty much straight away from college, just going in the trial there, and then someone at the trial Morecambe, they said like we need you out in non-league sort of thing. So then went to Clitheroe, and that was under Stuart Mellish, and that's obviously where I met Mano, Steve Rigby, and that's where it sort of began.
Yeah, happy days. So you obviously you'd gone from sort of I think it was Colne. I know you played at Barnolds. What is it about running uphill that you love so much?
I know, honestly, I know. Yeah, so yeah, Colne was a weird one, because it was obviously with Nathan Rooney. So I never really had aspirations of travelling that far, but I sort of was it run called Minutes in pre-season, done really well under Ello, and then it sort of fizzled out, and it didn't quite work towards sort of Christmas time. And then Joyles didn't come and put 7 days in for me, and literally went there for a week, and then Lancaster City put 7 days in. So I was signing for Lancaster. All the forms went through, and then we went into lockdown the day after.
Oh, right.
So that was COVID. But at the time, Nathan Rooney was the coach at Lancaster City, and then he got the role as the manager at Colne. So when we started to come out of lockdown, he messaged me and said, would you come down to Colne, sort of thing. I had a little chat with him, and then that's when I started travelling up them ways and running up that hill. For a season and a half, like,
yeah, no, happy days. I mean, I think like playing, I know obviously saying like a lot of your times been sort of playing at right back. I think a lot of them teams, I'm just wondering, sort of, have you got anyone that sticks out in your head who's your toughest opponent that you face, especially the nature of it being you can end up in 1v1 battles a lot, I think, as a full back. So
toughest opponent, I'd have to go, if it was non-league, I'd have to go probably Will Saxon was tough to play against. He was at Run called Linnets. I think we had a couple of good games against each other, good battles. Like, who else was there? If we're going like from sort of Ollie Crankshaw, who's currently at Alty, but he worked his way up through non-league, signed for Wigan, signed a pro there, and then now he's at Altrincham. He was unbelievable. Like, as a winger. Just done the same thing every time, but there was just you just couldn't stop him. Like, he was definitely the toughest. Like,
no, happy days. Suppose as well, sort of with the stuff that you do now. I know obviously when you're working at Marima, sort of the academy lads in there. One of the big things I don't know that I'd take over is sort of your fitness and your diet and things like that. It's all very regimented. If you could give yourself some advice, going all the way back to being that lad at 18 about it, what are you saying that is the thing the practices to get in at 18?
Just develop some good habits. So obviously, the sort of thing now is you turn 18 and you see a lot of talented lads go down the drain the drain to like sort of getting on the booze and stuff like that. Like, obviously there's times where I'll go out and have a drink, but I think that's one thing that you need to sort of try and not cut out. You've got to enjoy yourself, and you've got to have that sort of that switch off from it, because it is brutal, isn't it? Especially that, like, if you're thinking of this season now, then that Saturday, Tuesday period from August, well, it was the end of July, wasn't it, till middle of November. It was Saturday, Tuesday every week, wasn't it? So it was
played a third of the season by that point.
It's mad, isn't it? And then we have 3 Saturdays. Like, it's mad, isn't it? But I think definitely just getting like some healthy habits you can input in whatever it is that you can sort of input. Because if you don't enjoy it, you're never going to stick it out, are you? Where resistance training regularly. I see obviously a lot of lads at the college, it's common theme, don't train legs because I don't want to get injured. It's like, well, no, you need to train legs to prevent injury. And then they're picking up niggles and then they're asking me why we're picking up niggles. Like, well, what are you doing in the gym? I'm just doing dumbbell chest press for just like 5 days a week, or like, do you know what I mean? So it's just having a good even split, and sort of taking your emotion out of it as well. So obviously, like I work with a really good coach at the minute. It's S&C coach Lee Molyneux, so he does all my programming for me. Now it's not as if I can't do it myself. Obviously, the sort of experiences I've had, but it takes your emotion out of it. So it's getting someone else to have a look at, right, okay, where are you at now? Because emotionally, I'll look at myself and I go, right, okay, so I'm actually okay here. But you'll go and work with someone who potentially might not know more than you, but emotionally he's not invested in you. So they'll tell you, like, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. Well, you've not done that hard, and I might think, oh, I've done that, I'm sort of blowing out my arse, like sort of thing. I'm not session, and he'll have a look at the data and he'll be like, well, no, actually you weren't, like. Yeah,
the other perspective, like you say, probably taking the emotion out. I feel like that's where sort of, I don't know, like you can move left or right as like sort of a player and a coach from being sort of, I don't know, the lads who do it, who were player coaches, for example. Like, I think when you get to that point, when you're a coach, you've almost got to go top down and go, like, it's nice, you've got to keep a relationship with the lads, haven't you, obviously, but you've got to still be able to be objective enough to sit there and go, well, no, actually, that wasn't quite that. And I think that's quite interesting, because I think that is dead important. But no, it's just one of those things. I think certainly there's lads I know that you do coach that have sort of taken it on board, definitely, and are sort of seeing the benefits from it. I'm just dead interested.
No, it is. It's like the nutritional side of things as well, isn't it? That's massively overlooked. But you can train as hard as you want, but if you rubbish 80% of the time, you're never going to see the sort of reward for all your hard work in the gym and on the football pitch and the extras that you're doing. So getting that right is
so you're quite strict with your diet every day then?
Yeah, so I track all my calories, weigh everything.
Tiring then,
you know what? It isn't too bad.
I just have to prep that all the time.
No. So what I do is I prep me. So I've had the same breakfast for about 3 years. So I'll
bacon, sausage, no calories left the rest of the day, but I'm happy at 9.
Full of breakfast,
What is it then?
So effectively I'll have 100 grams of porridge oats, I'll have 30 grams of 85% dark chocolate, I'll have 45 grams of applied nutrition chocolate whey, I'll have 20 grams of mixed seeds, 40 grams of honey, and then 5 grams of creatine chucked in there. But I'll have that either like overnight, mixed in over the fridge, or if I'm not training before I go to work, I'll have it heated up in the microwave. But I'll have that all the time. But then I'll prep on a Sunday, you see. So I'll get up on a Sunday morning and I'll prep everything, and all my meals are done in 2 hours. So for the
quite
week,
organised.
So,
do you not get bored of that though? Like what you just said you've eaten for 3 years, is that not boring?
No. I'll go to bed, and I look forward to waking up and having
it's what you've said though, isn't it? Is you've got to enjoy it yourself. You've got to be happy with what you're doing, and if that works for you and you get the results, that's the main thing. But moving away from all that nutritional stuff and all that, I can see it gets asked on a few podcasts, but I thought we'd throw this one in, right? So you've got 4 players from non-league that you've met. Four players, or anyone you've met in non-league who's on your night out that you can have, obviously very sparingly. I understand you're very committed, but on the time that right, we're having this blowout end of the year, you and 4 others.
Right, okay.
And why?
Okay, I'd go Kirky. Are we going players, or are we going
just anyone you've met in non-league?
And it doesn't just have to be Burscough.
Right, okay, so I'll definitely go Kirky. I just think he's a laugh. On the nights out that we've gone on, he's brilliant. I'd go yourself.
The comedic
value. The comedic value. Just boss. You're a good laugh, and you can have a laugh with anyone. Josh Gregory, who's currently at Bury, but when I was with him at Cables and Clitheroe, we've had some really good nights out. Obviously, when we went to Benidorm as well for the weekend, that was class. That's 3. Who else? So one more. One more.
Come back to it if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll come back to it. Yeah. Come back to it.
think.
I'll have a think. Yeah.
We're going on to Burscough now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you joined us. Was it halfway through the season last year?
I think it was beginning of December or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. You made obviously a good impact because you signed a contract with us. So how did you feel to sign that contract?
Yeah, I think it's always nice, isn't it? To have the sort of the backing from the club, from the managers, from the coaching team, and obviously, it allows you to play your best football, sort of thing. You're not worried about or whatever it is. It's you've got the confidence of the sort of management team. Otherwise, they wouldn't have. On the club, that you wouldn't have offered the contract if that wasn't the case. So it allows you to go out and play your best football, to relax in training, and go out on the football pitch and relax and just play football. Just worry about what you do on the pitch, rather than normally he's quite political, as obviously everyone knows. So I think sometimes you can get caught up in that, but I think on the contract there, I think it allows you to just focus on the football instead of getting involved with all the political side, which you can often get sort of wound up in there.
Yeah, of course, yeah. It's a shame you've had so many injuries.
I know. Honestly, it's Well, I know.
But yeah, obviously, what is the best thing about playing for Burscough? What's your favourite game?
I think it's boss. So the whole club is set up now for an upward trajectory, isn't it? The management team that we've got. The squad that we've got now, obviously we've not had the best of starts to the season. I think that sort of killed us. But momentum wise now, the sort of past 2 months, I think we're sort of kicking on. And I think if you look at the league table, and if it was started, I don't know, whenever it was when we signed the lads after the McGull game, I think it was. I think we're getting up there now. And I think everything like the clubhouse, the plans, which obviously the chairman and that's got in place. I think it's it's an upward trajectory, and it's good to be a part of the project. And sort in terms of getting back to it. I'm looking there at the FA Trophy winners in 2003. Obviously that's potentially a long way away, but there's always good to have them sort of long-term goals in place. Yeah, exactly. And getting more people in, getting the crowds in, and being part of that sort of that trajectory to get back to where obviously a size of the club like Burscough should be.
Yeah,
I think that's probably the most enticing thing about playing for Burscough at the minute.
No, it's nice that you see that as well, because obviously it is like a sleeping giant of a football club. So it's nice to see that you can see the development and stuff, and that you're happy to be involved and stuff like that. Yeah. If you had to pick from the current squad now, it's obviously the same question we ask everyone: who would be in your Burscough five-a-side?
Burscough five-a-side.
And you can have yourself.
Right. Yeah. So I'll go. Big Ben in goal.
Well, that's an easy choice, that really, isn't it? It's the only one
so Big Ben in goal. If we're going off currently fit players, I'd go myself. I'd go Kirky. I'd go Cush. And that's 5, isn't it? Ben, me, Kirky, Cush, and Hamo. Yeah, Hamo. Yeah, that's it. That's going to win games in a five-a-side. That.
I mean,
is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I think always causes an argument. This doesn't
it?
So we'll see how that.
Yeah,
always good to see.
I mean, I don't know whether we didn't. Yeah, Ben kind of was digging at Riggs last time. I don't think you've actually. Have you left anyone out that could be offended there?
Well, I would. What I would say is, if Steve was fit, he'd potentially get in there.
Well, yeah, he's
left-footed, a little bit of balance.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But as I say, it's always good. The next training session after the five-a-side, there's a few crosswords.
Does that cause a bit of uproar?
Yeah.
Do you know what was funny? I'm pretty sure it was Riggers and Hamo that gave me that idea to give that question, so they can't really
there you go then. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll finish off with quick fire questions.
Okay.
Right. Number 1, who's your football hero?
Steven Gerrard. What was the role of the eyes for here?
Everyone says that.
Sorry. You're gonna get a question. You're gonna get answers like that.
I know. Sorry.
We are picking like Liverpool fans.
I know, that's true. Yeah. I mean, you were saying United fans. Okay, number 2, death row meal.
Death Row
It's
meal.
going to be your oats.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go with it.
Really?
I
Are you
will.
joking?
Well, I will. Honestly, I think
I
everyone's.
didn't mean that.
I think everyone's underestimating how good these oats are. You know,
Maybe you have to bring us
they
some.
they are special. When the chocolate's melted, it just tastes like.
It does sound nice.
Honestly, it's heavy. Trust me.
Certain
Once you try it,
yeah.
once you try it, you'll never go back. Promise you.
So oats, okay. Number 3, night out or night in?
19, defo.
Number 4, 3 famous people to have dinner with.
3 famous people. I'd go with Mo Salah, Jimmy Carr, and Peter Kay.
I love Peter Kay. Yeah.
All on overnight oats.
Yeah.
Number 5, funniest teammate.
Funniest, either Kirky or Belly.
Yeah, I can see that. You didn't finish. What was the question?
Yeah, so we need
right, okay.
Who's making this night out? Who's getting in this taxi? It's been here outside for 5 minutes. Who's getting in it?
James Foley.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, James Foley. Yeah, he's a good lad on the night out. Like, he's good.
Well, heavy Prescott influence on this night out.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks H. Thanks for joining us.
Top man.
No worries.
Right, guys. See you on the next episode. Bye.